Hi everyone, this is Bob Singh joining. Today we'll be talking about positioning your studio for growth. So let me share my screen quickly so you all can see um, the reference point. So welcome to SmartStudioCircle. I'm your host, Bob Singh, and this happens to be our very first event. So positioning your studio for growth. And I have been working with several dance studios and startups to help sharpen their studio strategy. So today what we'll do is we'll use this product called Business Model Canvas to help you understand how you can look at your positioning and improve your revenue. So this is the main intent of SmartStudioCircle, is to give you uh, help with tools and templates that can increase your revenue and productivity. So let's get started. So why positioning matters? So positioning is the starting point for figuring out who you're serving. You can't be everything to everybody. So you have to decide. A clear positioning will bring the right um, students and the families. When the positioning is stronger, that will also fetch brand loyalty, referrals, and even stronger pricing. And if we don't have clarity on this, then you run into a risk of competing on price or burnout. So what I've seen is that positioning is the foundation of smart growth. So now, if you're not clear about your positioning, what exercise can you go through to clarify that? And that's where I want to provide you guys with this tool called Business Model Canvas, created by Alex Osterwalder with a book published on Amazon. You can create a visual for your studio where you can capture, create, and deliver the value. And it's a thinking framework that will help you go through identifying blind spots and also growth opportunities. And in today's session, I will introduce it, but I would like to I will schedule another call where we can fill this out together. Or you can even fill this out and submit it in the community, share it for feedback from our group. So I should tell you that when I operate my own dance studios, I usually go through this process. Because each dance studio I have is different. So, and each one gets its own business model canvas. So there are 9 building blocks. We have customer segments, value proposition, channels, customer relationships, revenue streams, key resources, key activities, key partnerships, and cost. Figuring out the total cost, which doesn't show on the slide, but that's a key factor. So your growth starts with clarity. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through each building block to come up with a business model for your studio. Okay. So we'll do that as we walk through each item here together. So if you use the canvas for laser focused data entry, you're going to see it works out. It works out really, really well. So I'm going to replace that slide deck with this because this one is a little bit more scrollable and clear. So please take some notes as we go through the business model canvas. And then later on in the session, I'll give you a link where you can go and populate and work on the worksheet. So this is going to be a little bit interactive, and I know you guys are going to enjoy it as well. So please grab some notes, grab a notebook, and let's kind of go through this together. We want to see the possibilities. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out our customer segment. Based on your products already, you may have dance types that you serve in classes. So you can say we are serving adults who seek joyful movement, or we have adults who are preparing for maybe dance for a wedding, or we are creating competitive dances, or we are looking for parents, or there are parents who are looking for inclusive or beginner friendly classes for their kids as their little ones grow up, you see. So the first thing you want to do is write down your primary and secondary statement. So, okay. All right. Again, I've posted this slide deck into the discussion with this event. So you're welcome to use that slide deck for reference as well. The next thing we want to do is come up with our value proposition. You see, everything in life is about why. Everything in life is about why. So now you have to go back and say, why did you start the dance studio? What makes it special? And that answer, dear studio owner, business owner, is going to come from your heart. So some examples may be that your studio is special because you offer several classes. You offer confidence building curriculum, or you use AI for powered scheduling, or you use AI for creating certain things in your studio that makes you productive, and then you can do other things. Or you have this no student left behind promise. So you have to think about what makes your family choose your studio over the others in your neighborhood. Very important, right? Everyone can hear me, right, folks? Please do let me know in the chat. That would be great. Then, after we build out our customer segments and then we know our value proposition, then we get into, okay, how are we going to find these customers, right? How are we going to find these customers? How will these students and families will interact with you? So you'll have a website, you'll have a social media, you'll have presence on Google Maps, you'll probably have some direct messaging via email or forms, or you'll work on some social media channels where you think you will find the students. You'll give out flyers at local schools or gymnasiums, or you'll go to uh, weekend hangouts in your neighborhood with events happening, maybe scheduled at meetup.com or others, or maybe joining communities like these, right? So, yeah. So you list out all the channels, and keep in mind, you don't have to list out everything right now. You can, add to this later. And as you submit you can submit the creation of your business model canvas for feedback to us. So, and we'll help you out. Our staff will look at it and say, hey, you can do this or that as enhanced or better. So, right? Then we go to our customer relationship. We don't want just happy customers. We want customers who are raving about us. So we have to build trust. We have to build loyalty. So how do you do that? Well, one is the product offering. The other is how you talk to them. A smile on the face, conversing when people come in and out of your dance studio. Progress tracking and student shoutouts will go a long way. Parent emails or recital previews on your website. And you might be like, I don't have the tools for all this. So the thing is, how do you build something where families keep coming back to you? And that's where you can build relationships. Like for my dance studios, I have prepared a simple cross promotion with one of my other businesses and other, like we have a bunch of cricket clubs in my area. People love to play cricket. So I advertise with the cricket clubs, or I'll sponsor one of the events of the cricket club, or I'll pay for their, gear requirements. And in return, I will get students. So there's not a fixed relationship, but this is just building a relationship, right? So customer relationship is when you are supportive, when you're supportive of the student, when you meet the student at their door. And this is going to create a bunch of questions in your mind about, well, how do I do that? That's why I'm going to set up a follow-up session with the business model canvas so we can answer those for you guys. Right? And then the other thing to look for is, how does your studio make money? You really need to figure out if it's going to be private lessons, tuition, merchandise, intensive, custom fee, digital and virtual programs. We have helped several dance studios go live with virtual programs where they are using our AI to figure out what markets will their programs thrive in. And a lot of them have doubled or even tripled their revenue within 1 year. So we want to help you first think through and make this personal, right? This is a very personal exercise. Your dance studio is your baby. Your business is your baby. And so it can't exist on its own. It has to partner. It's a body. It has to partner. Just like I depend on the toothpaste manufacturer for brushing my teeth. And hopefully when I smile, haha, you guys can see my teeth are nice and white. Right? Sorry, I'm a bit of a jokester as well. But we figure out our revenue streams, and we can also do partnerships. Now, sometimes we start the process and we say, well, I have no idea. That's where AI helps. I'm going to help you understand our GPT for dance studios to help you with this in one of the sessions. I just want you guys to join the community. So you can join these weekly sessions for an hour. They're all free. And these are informational sessions that will truly help you guys with your growth in the dance studio. At least that's the intent. And then you have to figure out what are the key resources. So there are many resources in your team. You have your teaching team. That's a source of revenue, because if, let's say, somebody's working 20 hours a week, and how many classes they can teach in a week, what is the unit cost of each, and some teaching members may be good one-on-one, some may be good in groups. Sometimes you can group classes with 3 people at a time or 10 people at a time, depending on what you're offering. Another nice thing we have seen is that when we do group lessons, that's good, but then we also offer free review sessions. So let's say somebody buys a package of like 10 ballet classes for 45 minutes each at $25 a pop, right? So now they'll pay $250. And what we'll do is, with the teaching team, we will throw in 2 1-hour sessions or 3 1-hour sessions as a catch-up time, where they come in and people just come in and say, okay, what did you learn? How are those things going? And show me what you know. And then let's help you shape let's get you to perfections with the dance steps. So you may have dance studio space that is not being used all the time. So if there are places where if somebody wants to host a meeting, or you can rent those out, or to nonprofits, maybe you can give them the space which will actually support the element of inclusivity. So those things build your brand and reputation. People want to remember you, right? And one thing in my life that I figured out is I must grow by helping others grow. I must. And with love in the heart. Always. Those are the core values that drive nature, that bring us together. And why wouldn't we, right? Because once you grow with that love in your heart, then that also gives you gratitude. And once gratitude is there, I mean, look, money is important, all right? But if I could do a job like this one, or any for that matter, even if I didn't get paid, it's fine. Why? Because when you help others grow, their blessings help you grow. Whether that's spiritually, mentally, whatever it is. So, yeah. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. And you know what? You have to focus. So these are your resources that can potentially help you make money. Now, sometimes it's not like you have to actually, you can subscribe to a product that reduces the amount of time it takes for doing something. And what that does then is it helps you process all the minutia quickly. So, like my company makes Circle RAM AI. That product is used by so many companies today, right? It helps improve productivity, and people then use that additional time for other things like teaching or things that make money. You see, doing the clerical work doesn't make you money. It helps you process, but if you can get tools and you're smart about processing stuff, then it comes up, right? So, now you have to think about, okay, what you're going to do. So you have to think about, for a specific revenue cycle that you want, what do you do that drives the most value? Are you teaching classes, recital planning, marketing, community building, right? Those are the kinds of things that'll help you make money. But if you're doing things that are clerical in nature, maybe not so much, right? Where you should focus your energy each week, because uh, where focus goes, energy flows. Where focus goes, energy flows. So you must focus on things that help you make money, right? For a large percentage of the time. You're also going to need some partnerships. Okay. So, what helps you deliver your value? You'll have choreographers, local schools, businesses, vendors, tech partners, usage of AI. How do you expand your reach into different markets? All of those things matter. All of those things matter. So you should think about all the partnerships. And then you figure out what is costing you, right? I've learned that making money means you have to save first. Because if you look at your spend and you are spending on things that are not providing a return, I wouldn't. See, for a small business that's making $250,000 to maybe 2 million, you can list out the expenses in a spreadsheet on a recurring and non-recurring basis. And then you can say this is needed, this is not needed. Go through that line by line and say, is it needed? Now, sometimes cleaning, for example, right, that's a pretty big one. In Bay Area, if you get a dance studio clean, you have to do it weekly, and you have to spend about $250 per clean for a facility that might be 1,000 to 1,500 square feet. That translates to about $1,000 a month. That's a lot of money, right? That could pay for something else. So then what you could do is, this could be some cleverness where the dance studio staff, you can buy a robot that can vacuum the dance studio while you're gone, night times, run the schedule. It costs $500. On an ongoing basis, create a practice where you get your students to, if they bring in things like shoes, putting those organized, like organizing those properly. If there are soda things or whatever, just clean after every class, and that'll reduce your ongoing costs. So sometimes we overbuy insurance, right? So we have to be careful about those things. So, licensing costs, costumes, and sometimes you can make money on costumes. You buy them at a certain price, and you can add a little bit more to either rent out a costume, or if you're selling it because parents want it, then that's fine too, right? Manage your time well, and as you spend time, it's okay because you are providing value. It's okay to charge for that, right? Be optimal. So be optimal in your charge point so it doesn't look like parents don't think that, well, you're overcharging. So, what are the key takeaways? Well, let's look at who are we serving, okay? Who are we serving? And how are you different? Those two things in my mind lead to coming up with a good position. Then you take the business model canvas to clarify and communicate your value, what you're actually trying to deliver. And once you know clearly who you are serving and you are able to communicate your value, then we focus on growth and we take off. But for growth, it's important for us to have clarity, not complexity. If I'm clear on that my dance studio will be teaching Bharatnatyam and I want to serve a total of 50 students from the Indian population because that's where Bharatnatyam is popular, which is not to say that you can't inspire uh, others to come and join you. That's the whole function of inclusivity. So, uh, or ballet, or pop music, dancing to pop music. So get clarity, and then let's work with you to build your business model. I assist many dance studios today with this, and they get growth. The other thing is, I want you guys to use artificial intelligence not only just for handling your busy work, but also in teaching and coaching. I mean, why wouldn't it be like this where you can actually support dance studios customers who speak different languages? Like, why wouldn't I create course material in different languages so I can help them improve their language skills while they're dancing? And then there are always these add-on partnerships I can do. For example, I can go to, we have partnerships, for example, in ours for people who like to dance, also like to sing. So we have partnership with singing teachers or that provide voice lessons, and we get paid for referrals. So there are all these partnerships and growth opportunities that you can take on, and our AI will help with that. I'll show you guys that in another. So now, what are the next steps? Well, uh, we have our next session, which is a roundtable on discussion on revenue models. Like, what different things help you make money? What new revenue streams you can add? So that if you join the community, you'll get notified about it. So you can join. Um, you can certainly join the channel and then join us in that next call. So, and you should download the BMC template. You can Google this strategizer BMC template, or you can click on this link and you can get it, right? And once you have populated your business model canvas, please go into your wins workspace in our community and post it. We'll give you feedback. We'll show you, hey, these are the things you can significantly improve. So it'll cost you 1 hour to maybe populate the business model canvas, but that would be I would say probably the best investment you will make for yourself as you grow your dance studio. So these are my thoughts for today. I am really happy that you guys joined us, and a recording of this will be available also that you guys can go through. And thank you for your time, and let's grow together. Thank you. Take care, everyone.